Today is a basic drawing tutorial focusing on how to draw a candle, which if you know how to draw a cylinder, it will make it super easy. If you love learning about art, support this public school teacher's side hustle and hit that subscribe button. I am looking at a variety of LED candles that I purchased for my pastel candle drawing unit. So before we can do pastels, we have to learn how to draw a candle. So the basics are, we're gonna use this tall candle as inspiration, and essentially we're gonna draw a cylinder. Start by drawing a smiley face line at the bottom of your paper, and it's a smiley face that's not so happy. Repeat the same exact smiley face a little bit taller than the first one. You can make your candle as wide and as tall as you would like. Then connect both sides of those lines. They should be parallel and they should be tall verticals if you're doing a traditional candle shape. It also looks like a soda can. Before you do any more, take your eraser and touch up any lines. I like to draw with fast, sketchy lines, and you can see I am not a robot or a computer. I am a human, and this definitely looks like a human that didn't measure drew it. So I'm just making sure I'm somewhat happy with both sides and the curved top and bottom of my cylinder candle shape. Then you are going to draw a frowny face line mimicking the same curve of the smiley face line that you drew. You're basically going to take that smiley face and flip it upside down. This looks like to me either a pancake shape or like an eye that's closing. And remember, you're drawing a cylinder, not a circle. So although it's circular if you look at it straight on, as you tilt the object, it becomes more oval shape. So the next thing we need to add is a flame. So in the center here, I'm drawing a flame shape, which is kind of like a teardrop, or I see everything as eyes, an eyeball turned on its side. This is a fresh, brand new candle that has been lit for the first time. The basics. Now, if you want to make your candle look like it's been burned, I'm going to repeat the steps you saw me do before. Smiley face lines that are parallel, connect both sides with a long vertical. Then you're going to flip-flop that first smiley face line, and you're going to create the top of your candle with a frowny face or a downturned line. Use your eraser to touch up any mistakes or anything that you want to improve on. Now, the next step is you're going to dip into it as if the wax is melting because this candle has been lit, making it look like the wax is dripping down just on one side because that is the style of the candle that I purchased for my students to draw from. So I want them to practice drawing what they're actually looking at. And I'll put the link to the candles I purchased in my description box. So the beauty of a candle melting is every time you light it, it could melt completely differently. So although I am dipping down on one side, look at a candle in real life and draw what you see, or Google different styles of candles that have been lit. One thing to notice is that the flame is no longer at the top because the wick is what's burning. So the flame needs to go down to the degree that the candle has been burnt. I'm not adding any dripping wax, just a little bit more of an organic shape to the top of my candle. And this is a candle that has been lit but isn't burned all the way. Now the next one is hands down my favorite. I'm gonna draw this tiny little tea light candle that has all the fun wax dripping. Because this is public school, this is a battery operated or an LED candle, just so I can light them all at school and not burn the whole thing down. So I'm gonna repeat all the same steps you've seen me do before. Smiley face, and this smiley face I'm going to put closer together because I want this to look like a short tea light candle. I'm going to connect my sides, and then this time I'm going to make this bad boy look like it is melting and dripping and the wax is just having a dance party. Erasing things as I go, and I still always lightly draw the top of it so I know what it would look like if it were perfectly brand new. This reminds me of a marshmallow. Making the curved line I demonstrated before, but this time I'm making it a little bit more organic and a little bit curvier, and I'm adding a curve to the top as if that became uneven from the heat of the flame. I'm erasing that original space that I drew. It is important to draw it to make sure your candle is accurate. And now I'm gonna go in and add some wax dripping detail. Wax can drip anywhere and everywhere, and I do recommend looking at a candle as you're drawing it. The best way to do it is to draw from direct observation, grab an LED candle, or if you have any candles at home, or you could Google it. There's also some pretty cool YouTube channels that is just like candlelight burning for 3 hours straight. That's really fun to look at as you're drawing as well. And I'm just making my curved lines have a little bit more drip. I'm adding a second line to it so it looks 3D. And although this is just a pencil drawing, you could go in with colored pencils, with charcoal, with graphite, with pastels, and you could really make this candle have voluminous light, value, and color. I'm going to add a short little flame because it is a small candle down where the wick would be. And this is my favorite candle so far, a short little tea light with lots of character. All right, all done. 3 different ways to draw a candle simply with a pencil. Thank you so much for sticking around and making art with me. And if you're interested in more tutorials, check these out. Find me on Instagram at thatartteacher_Machado to see what my students are up to in my classroom. And my website, thatartteacher.com, has full-length lesson plans, rubrics, and student examples, all for free.